Hello everyone, this is Nervod1138 with my inaugural outfit mashup tutorial. I apologize right now for my voice. It's not as cool as Obsidian Ant, but you're just going to have to deal with it. So, what we're going to be doing today is introductory to mashup outfits. We're going to work on Kelly's new Courser outfit I created. And we're going to start it from scratch. I reset everything on it, so I'm going to show you step by step how we create the same exact outfit. You will find in the comment section what all the different mods you need to create this outfit. Some of the items on here I'll just explain when I'm creating it. Certain steps that will not be followed in this tutorial and will be done on future tutorials. So, without further ado, let's get started. So this outfit is tschutschi's wardrobe. It is the shadow outfit that we're starting with as the base. So Kelly is a character I use as my double agent for Institute and Railroad. I use the mod Start Me Up so she's actually not a vault dweller. And also I have a mod that keeps both factions alive in endgame. So as we can see here in the game, we have the outfit. Here's Kelly. So as you notice, it is the stock regular outfit that comes with the mod. The reason why the holster is purple is because I don't have holstered weapons installed, and that is one of the requirements for this mod, but we're not going to be using it, so I didn't feel like installing it. So the main thing is we're going to be getting rid of is going to be the pants and the boots on this. And we're going to be adding a bunch more items to this. So since I've already dug around and created the outfit before, I know what I have to do and get into chopping this thing up. So as you can see here, I got Nexus Mod Manager open. Make sure you have BodySlide installed. You should already have Outfit Studio if you have BodySlide. So waiting for this to warm up. As you can see, I already have the shadow outfit loaded. I have my preset selected, which is Nervod's Natural. I'm going to go ahead and preview this. So this is what the outfit looked like in game. Yeah, the textures are a little bit different, but that's just how BodySlide works. So as you can see, the holster, there is no textures showing up, and why it was purple in game. The body suit textures are a little bit different, but we already saw how it looked in game, and you've seen my images, so don't worry about that right now. So let's go ahead and open Outfit Studio. So we got Outfit Studio open. So let's go over a couple of the items here in Outfit Studio. We have File, which is where we could do new project, load projects, load a reference. All this stuff's used for when you're making new outfits from scratch or doing BodySlide conversions of outfits that don't have it. The main things we're going to be working with is load outfit, import, and export. Edit. A lot of these items are actually here on the tool board. Shape. We're not going to be messing with any of the shape stuff. Sliders. We could go into some of this later. This is mainly if you want to do zap sliders, which I'll be covering in another tutorial, because one of the items we're going to be using today to make this outfit, I've been using for a while, and I already installed a zap slider on it. Tools is some of the other stuff we're going to be covering. But the big thing here is we're going to be working with is you have your masking tool, increase mesh, decrease mesh, transform tool, mirror edits across x-axis, and allow brush to collide with all the currently selected meshes at the same time. So let's go ahead and load this outfit. So we're going to go to File, Load Outfit. We're going to hit Browse. See, I'm already in another folder, so we're going to hit Meshes. So one thing I recommend is digging in your Meshes folder, learning where all your different mods that you want to use are at, because some of them are not named properly. Like some of these folders are labeled weird, like Sheep is Modern Weapons. Ralphetta's is This is Pompous. H.N66 Fallout 4. This is Easy Girl. It's like people will either name the folders off the outfit or they'll use the author's name. So this one we're going to be doing tschutschi. So tschutschi Wardrobe 2. And we're going to be looking for the shadow outfit. So we have the shadow outfit NIF. This is the first person NIF. There's one with fur. And the fur one uses the regular shadow first person. So we want the one that's not first person. Go ahead and hit OK. It loads the textures automatically. So here we have our outfit. So the first thing we're going to do is, and just a recommendation right now, make sure you have a mouse with a scroll wheel, because that helps you zoom in, going back and forth on the wheel, and pressing the wheel and moving up and down with the mouse moves your body around. Right clicking, holding the right click button, allows you to spin the body, tilt it forwards and backwards. So let's zoom in on this. And right here is all your different items that you have on your NIF. These are all different meshes. So what you can do is, to find out which item you're working with, you could click on the eye icon and it turns it off. And this does its mesh, and then it's full up mesh with textures loaded and everything. So for the gun, we're going to be looking for, let's see here, we have a stock. Yep, there's a gun stock, receiver, the clip, and the holster. See, everything's gone. So we're going to click stock. And in order to group items together to delete, you hold shift, click the bottom item, right click on it, and just go to delete. And it'll pop up with this warning. Anytime you delete something, you want to verify you're not deleting anything you don't want to. Otherwise, you got to reload the outfit and start all over again. So we got that deleted. Next thing I want to do is get rid of these pants. So I don't see anything labeled pants, so what you could do is just click through, but I already know which one these are because I've done it several times. So it's actually this Fallout outfit. See, if you click it off, it's the pants. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. Next thing I want to do is I want to delete these boots, because I want to use my own boots that I like using on my outfits. So we're going to go ahead and delete those. So we're left over, as you can see, there's no body loaded actually underneath the bodysuit. If I turn off the bodysuit, all you see is the Gits armor. As you can see, the mod author was able to separate the NIF, pull this in, which creates the open area for the bodysuit, and he shrunk down the leg armor to fit underneath. There's actually arm armor also that was shrunk, and it's underneath the Easy Girl gauntlets. So we're going to go ahead and turn that bodysuit back on. So what I want to do is, first, before adding items, is I want to clean up this NIF a little bit, because as you can see, there's some clipping on the side in the body armor. The leg armor is poking through. So let's go ahead and we're going to select the armor, because that's what we're going to be adjusting. What we're going to do is we're going to increase this mesh here on the side of the armor to fill in those little holes there. As you can see, the radius on this tool is pretty big. So if you want to adjust the size of this tool, what you want to do is go ahead and hold shift, and you just press minus a couple times to increase it. You hit the plus key, minus, plus, and go off a little bit, and then you can come back and you can see that it's changed its size a little bit. If you hold the control key, and plus and minus actually increases and decreases the strength of the mesh tool. Unless you need to be in a hurry and get rid of some items, and a lot of it, I don't recommend increasing or decreasing the strength. So what we're going to do is just going to gently just kind of fill that in, just enough to cover it up. And what we're going to do is just look and make sure it's not lumpy. There's no pointed objects from our fill we just did. We could zoom in a little bit. All right, looks pretty good. So as you notice, as I filled in this side, it filled in this side. So what it is this mirrors edits across x-axis. So whatever I fill on this side, it's going to fill on this side, vice versa. Just like here, it's going to fill here, and it's going to fill here, fill here. So let's go down here to the legs, and I'll show you exactly what it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to decrease the mesh of the armor with the bodysuit. So there's quite a bit of it to do. So I'm going to increase the strength of the tool a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and start just holding the mouse button down and going over all these items. You want to go up and down, left and right. Once we cover all this up, I'll show you why you want to keep moving it around. You just don't want to keep it on one section, and it matters when you're increasing mesh sizes. So once we got that all covered up, everything looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any armor poking through. What I'm going to do is stop real quick and explain why you want to move your mouse around as you're doing it. So we're going to put the bodysuit in mesh form. As you can see, there's all these different little vertices. And what it does is when you move your mouse up and down, it goes to different vertices and increases or decreases the size of them and not just staying on one spot. As you can see, the Git's armor is hidden underneath the bodysuit now. There's a way you could actually just completely zap that out. I actually had to do that with the Kelly armor I did, where she actually has the stockings with a Git's bodysuit, because with certain motions of the character and running and squatting, you could actually see the armor poking through. So I will cover that in another tutorial soon. So once we got that all done, we could start adding stuff, because we're not going to delete anything else, because I like everything else that's on this outfit. So the first thing I want to do is add some boots. So lately I've become a really big fan of Bazoonga's Workshop items, especially this one pair of boots. So when you're adding sections, what you're going to do is go to File, Load Outfit again. And the biggest thing is, and it's a big tip, is before you even go looking for your new mesh that you're going to add or NIF, make sure you click Keep Other Shapes. If this is not clicked, what happens when you load that next NIF is it deletes all the work you've already done. So everything that's on there would be deleted. So you want to always make sure when you're adding items is keep other shapes. So I'm going to be loading these boots, and since I've done this a couple times, I'm actually going to move the body down a little bit to the side, because the boots load an actual body reference with them. Because it's mainly for, like, if you're just wearing the boots and nothing else, it loads the body for it. So to keep this YouTube friendly, I don't want to show any lady bits, and I'm getting it pulled. So we're going to go Load Outfit, Keep Other Shapes, Browse. Alright, so we're going to go back to the Meshes folder. I've done this quite a few times, and I know where parts are kept, but if you ever use the Bazoonga's Workshop items, they're kept in the Armor folder. Click on an Armor folder, it's right there, and you are going to get the Extravaganza package, which is all these different outfit items. I highly recommend this mod. It's not on Nexus, so just Google Bazoonga's Workshop Fallout 4, and a couple different pages will pop up to pick this up. So I really like these DPB boots. So we're going to go load these. Hit OK. As you can see, the reference body was loaded. So I'm just going to delete that because we don't need it. Alright, so now we are PG safe mode now. But you're like saying, hey, why we got brown boots? Well, the cool thing about the Bazoonga Workshop is all the different outfits have different textures that can be loaded at them, and it's done on the Armorsmith workbench. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go grab one of the other material files for a different color. So in order to do that, we make sure we have the item we just loaded selected. We're going to right click, go to Properties. Just right at the top, it has a material file. So Fallout 4 uses material files instead of actually just directly using texture files, because there's 3 different texture files that are loaded per a mesh. So the materials file loads all these together. So as you can see, we're still in the meshes folder, so we're going to click Data, go into Materials, and all the materials are usually, the folder structure is the same as the meshes. So it's in Armors, Bazoonga Workshop, Extravaganza, and the DPB boots. And I've used this enough to know that these are different sets because this is a brown, black. I want to say this one's either gray or white, and then there's like blue and red. So I'm going to select set 1, click OK, and look at that. We have our black boots now. So I'm just going to zoom in, make sure the boots aren't clipping with the bodysuit. The bodysuit's pretty tight fitting, so I'm not seeing any issues with the bodysuit poking through at all, which is good. So what we're going to do is go ahead and scroll out a little bit. So we got our first item loaded. So we're just going to load our next one. So the next one I'm going to do is Kelly. I use Toxic Raider leg armor. It's kind of one of Kelly's signature items that she uses on all her outfits. So I'm going to load these up and I'm going to talk about them for a second. So we're going to click Keep Other Shapes, Browse. We're still in the Materials folder, so we need to click back to Data, Meshes. And we're going to go to Toxic Raider, Legs. We're going to start with the left leg. Make sure to keep other shapes loaded. Alright, see? Now we got the armor loaded. So as you notice, I don't know if any of you have used Toxic Raider before, but the chest armor, arm armor, leg armor, there's straps in between that connect it all to make it look all form-fitting. So I removed that strap that usually goes up, I think it's the front and the back. So what I did was I actually opened up the project from the BodySlide files where the main NIF is kept, and I created zap sliders on those items where it's like you mask out that item you want to hide and you create a zap slider, and what it does is it makes it disappear. Because also, if you ever use Toxic Raider, there's spikes that are on the bottom of these, and what it does is with the Toxic Raider boots, it puts the spikes on the boots. But when you wear the armor with other boots that aren't meant for it, you'll get spikes just kind of randomly floating in the air. So I went ahead and zapped those out too. But we'll save that for another day on how to do that item. As you can see, we have issues with some clipping there, like straps cutting through the boots, knee pads cutting into the boots. The actual leg straps on the bodysuit look pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and start working on this. So I always get confused on what item does what. So what I do is I like to deselect and see what it turns off, so I know I could go work on this part. As you can see, the metal part of the armor is boots poking through. So you select the item. As you can see, if you're not selecting another item, the tool doesn't show up. Tool only shows up on whatever item you select, so it kind of keeps it safe from doing any damage of adjusting meshes you don't want to. So we're going to go ahead and increase this, and you just want to fill it in just enough to cover up any parts that you'll see where the boot's still poking through, like adjust these straps. As you can see, the strap is underneath the boot, so go ahead and don't be too shy. You can go ahead and zoom in, make sure you get all the detail. As you see, the boot buckle is poking through, so you want to increase that, fit it around it. So here we go. There's some more. You just want to rotate around, make sure you got everything. See, we got a little bit more here. It's part of a boot buckle. Alright, so that one looks pretty good. So we're going to go to this next one. Okay, so that's the middle. So we're going to select that part. And don't be shy to move your character around, zoom in, move it around some more, just so you can get a good view of what you're working with. And you don't want to increase it too much, or else you'll it starts getting kind of a little bloaty. Might get a little big on you. So you just want to do it like little by little. So my strength is still pretty strong, so I'm going to go ahead and just take that strength down just a hair. So here we got is the straps, but now it's shrinking for some reason. Oh, that's because I went negative with the strength. Alright. So let's fix that. And if you make a mistake and you don't want it, you could actually hit Control Z and it's just like any other program, it undoes whatever your last work was. So we're going to go ahead and fix this strap. Make it look like it's actually outside of the boot here. As you can see, it's like the boot actually ate like this whole strap. Just go back and forth nice and easy. Do it in chunks, because if you go and hold the button and go all the way around, it's just it's harder to go back and fix items, because if you hit Control Z, it'll delete the entire whole item of work you just did. So see, this strap is kind of still hanging out there. Just fill that in a little bit more. I think this looks pretty good. So as you can see, the straps up here, we don't really need to make any adjustments to those right now. But as soon as we start adding other items, I'm sure we will. So one item I forgot to add on, because it makes it a little bit harder with the leg armor. We're going to go ahead and shut those off for a second. Alright. So we're going to go ahead. I want to load the fishnet stockings from Bazoonga's Workshop. I don't know if it's a very just minor detail. Sometimes you might miss it in the pictures, but I think it just adds like a little bit of Kelly's flair to this. So we're going to go back to meshes, armor, Bazoonga Workshop, extravaganza. And what I like to use are these little, it's called the little secret stockings. They actually don't really go that far down. So that's why I like using the above the knee boots for it. Keep all their shapes. Alright, hit OK. So right now, this is what they look like. The reason for that is it's just it's the way Outfit Studio works. The dark spots are actually where skin's going to show, our skin, or pretty much the mesh underneath is going to show through. Because if you could get kind of angles and you could actually see the fishnet lines in it. So these items, the first time I didn't adjust them at all. And what happened was they were actually like floating over the bodysuit a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to select the decrease mesh size. Select those stockings. What we're going to do is actually... Oh, strength is still too strong on that. Still really strong. So what we're going to do is just decrease the mesh all the way around to where we start seeing it go underneath the bodysuit. Make sure you get all these parts, because as you can see here, you can see a little gap there, and you'll actually notice that in game. So go ahead and decrease that mesh to where you see it start poking through again. You don't have to do all of it to where it all disappears, but you want to do good chunks, get some spots in there. And what this does is it makes sure that it levels it out with the actual outfit. So you can see a little bit of a gap there in the leg. So that one's kind of hard to get. So once we do that, it looks kind of funny now with all these splotches. So we're going to select the increase mesh again, and we're just going to go over it with enough strength to where it just barely comes back over the underside. So what this does is when you're in game, it looks like these stockings are actually nice and tight up against the bodysuit. Doesn't give you any gaps in the elastic bands. The strings of the fishnet are actually pressed up against the bodysuit. It just looks a lot nicer. And it's just the first outfit you make, it's gonna take you a while. I'll tell you that. The first outfit I really made took me a couple hours, because you're gonna need to learn how to use the system. You're gonna learn little tricks, little things that you like using to make your outfits. But I've been doing this enough now that I actually know exactly what to do and just how much to do it. See, as you can see the gap isn't really there anymore. There's a little bit of a gap, but I think it's just the way the camera angle is. So what we could do is actually decrease it again. See, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is actually decrease the radius a little bit, so when I increase mesh, it actually doesn't hit too much. So, and what we could do is after we finish the outfit, we could go back into the game and actually see how it looks. And you can always go back and forth. It's trial and error, and you'll end up try different things. So, all right, we got the leg armor back on there. Check it again to make sure there's nothing poking through. All right, the straps look good. So we're going to go ahead and load the other leg. All right. Keep other shapes. Meshes all the way to the bottom again. Just make sure you set up your thing where it's alphabetical order. It makes it a lot easier to find stuff. Legs. See, now we need the right leg. All right, and there's the right leg. So we're going to do the same thing with this one as we did with the left one. So we're going to go ahead and check to see which one's closed. So that's straps. Because some of them are different a little bit. So we're going to start with the bottom part of the armor. So as you can see, we got the boots poking through the armor again. Increase that mesh. Since my strength is kind of low, it's taking a little bit longer. Don't be afraid to move your person around. So you can see the strap on, increase the strength a little bit. Speed this up. Cover up that boot buckle. There's a little bit more strap there. Oh. So you can see we got some boot poking through there. This part's going to be part of another one because we're going to need to adjust that. Alright, as we can see this one, a little overboard on that. But as you can see, the buckle of the boot is coming through. So let's go a little bit more to the side. Alright, that looks a lot better. But as you can see, we're increasing. It's starting to cover up the scarf, but we need to adjust anyways because as you can see, the boot's pretty much eating it. So the next part is, okay, that's the top part. So we want this part. Alright, let's go ahead and start increasing that. Fill that in. So it's a lot of just repetition, going back and forth, and increasing the size of items, making sure just everything looks nice and neat and looks like where it's supposed to be. I say it on my images all the time. I'm really particular when it comes to clipping on outfits, especially when you do mashups. And it's like I just like to make it look like the outfit is meant to be like that. Where you see some mashups where it's just like you can see other parts like clipping through, and it's just kind of, it ruins the immersion for me for outfits. It's like, yeah, I don't play my character in third person, but I like to take screenshots with a bunch of clipping. It's just kind of like, oh, a little too much there. Delete that. All right, increase that knee pad. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got that knee pad, those leg straps done. What I do is I like to look up and down, make sure everything's looks nice and clean. So the next thing we're going to add is, so I made a holster for the Mark 23 from Modern Weapons sidearms. What I did was I took the base holster from Easy Girl, and I took the NIF files from the gun from Modern Weapons, and I combined them together into its own separate actual item. I actually made a full item and attached it to the Easy Girl mod for my use. It's one of those things I would love to be able to upload to Nexus, but since none of the Modern Weapons files are on there, I can't do that. So we're going to need HN66 Easy Girl. So it's going to be slot number 54. As you see, I've made a couple different ones. Alright, keep other items. Alright, and there's your gun and pistol. Believe me, it was a pain to do this because all these parts and pieces are part of the pistol. And some of them didn't want to work together. I actually had to move each part individually, like together, and then select them all and rotate it and fit it into the holster. So as we can see, the holster is brown right now. What we're going to do is we're going to change the material file on this. I don't have a new one I created for it, so I actually cheat a little bit. So, because I want to make it look like it's actually part of the armor, the leg armor. Yeah, it's going to clip through this pouch, but once I change the material file, it actually looks like it's meant to be part of it. So the first thing I want to do is, like you see here with the straps, is these buckles. So what it is this one right here. See the belt metal. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to delete that. And the only thing that's left is the straps. So what we're going to do is, this is the left leg. And we're actually going to increase the mesh on the Toxic Raider straps. And we're going to make it float over the holster straps. So it looks like it all goes together. As you can see, all the other stuff looks pretty good. Kind of goes around. This armor's up against it now. It's underneath. So we're going to select that holster, which is this one right here. And we're going to go to Properties, go to Materials, Data, Materials, HN64. I apologize for the delay. I'm getting a little tired. It's kind of late here. So this is all the different material files that's used in Easy Girl. As you can see, here's my Mark 23 folder I added. So what I'm looking for is something black, and with Easy Girl, I know one of the very black items is, I was thinking, oh, I could use the fishnet. No, because then it makes it see-through. Same thing with this Go-Go one. It's kind of shiny. So what I did was, see, here's the other Mark 23 ones I made. What I'm going to do is, I'm looking for the Corsair jacket, which is a black, just Institute jacket. And the material file actually works very well with the holster. Wow, I'm just not seeing it. Maybe I didn't go low enough. Yep, that's it. Let's see, there's Corsair pants, Corsair jacket. So select Corsair jacket, click OK. And see, now we have a nice black holster. And when we're in game, it actually, the material and texture blends very well with the Toxic Raider armor. So it looks like the holster is actually part of the leg armor. So now that we got our holster done, we have our leg armor done, we have the stockings on, our boots on. The last thing I want to add to this thing is I want to add a jacket. And I really like the Snatcher jacket across his Corsair armor that he released. So what we're going to do is click File, Load Outfit, Keep Other Items. I'm going to preach that forever. So we're going to go back to Data, Meshes. Going to go to Cross. So, all right. If you want to make the same exact outfit, I'm going to have to tell you right now. I'll have the link description of where to find this program. So the way this outfit was made, it's made with the Bethesda archive. The B.A.E.s or B.A.Es, the Bethesda archive, whatever. I always forget the name of them. So we're going to go to downloads. Excuse me for all this stuff in here. So you're going to want to get this program B.A.E. And what it does is it's an extractor for those files. You can just drop them in there, and then it'll say, where do you want to put this? And then you could like name your file. As you can see, I have the Snatcher outfit right here. And all I did was I took the material files folder and dropped it into the Fallout folder. The meshes are actually already part of the mod, so you didn't really need that. So we're going to open this meshes folder because we're going to get to the materials in a second. So I'm going to do the long coat 3 because I always forget which one's which. And it's like, oh man, I don't want the ones with the sleeves. This is the great thing about this mod, or in this mesh. He separated the coat from the sleeves. So I could just be like, oh hey, I could delete those sleeves. And I'm left with the jacket vest. As you can see, there's quite a bit of clipping in here. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. And you're like, oh, it's brown. We're going to do the same trick we did with the boots. Is we're going to, while we extracted those material files, we're going to go in and change the material file to the black and gray one. So I got the jacket selected. I'm going to zoom in here under the arm. As you can see some of the Git's armor poking through. I still have the increased mesh selected. Alright, that's a little strong. You just want to easily increase that mesh. And remember, we have this selected, so whatever it does to this side, it's going to do to the other side as well. So go ahead and start working over the back. You just want to fill that in. Don't spend too much on one part, otherwise you're going to get lumps in your outfit. The reason I keep it brown for now is because the black and gray, I don't want to confuse it with the Git's armor. So as you can see, as I'm filling it, you can see the other side filling as well. And this keeps it nice and symmetrical. So the first time I did this, I didn't realize this part was actually part of the Git's armor, so don't forget that part. Back and forth, up and down. Just give you a nice, clean seam. Go ahead and zoom in, inspect your work, make sure you didn't miss anything. Not seeing anything in the shoulders. See, like here, part of the jacket is clipping through the armor. But all that does is increase the other side, so it doesn't really matter if you select the mirror images. It just kind of keeps it all nice and even. So we have our jacket all clip free. So the outfit's looking good. So let's go ahead and change our materials file. So we're going to go here, data, materials. See, now we're going to go to cross. I just dropped the cross folder in here. Snatcher. I want the black and gray jacket. We want the long coat. Click OK. And see, there we go. We have our black and gray jacket for the outfit. And honestly, this is, I was thinking about adding more stuff to it. I'm like, but this is kind of perfect. Some people might think, well, why keep the belt? The belt's not really doing anything now. I'm just like, it just kind of adds a little to it. So I think it looks good. Maybe I'll add a couple pouches onto it later. But for now, for my first tutorial and kind of outfit, it's simple, but it looks unique, I think. And it really, with the stockings and the Toxic Raider armor with the gauntlets from Easy Girl, it suits Kelly's personality. So once we have our outfit ready, we're going to go up to File. We're going to go to Export. And we want to go to NIF. Don't go to with reference, you just want to NIF. Click NIF. And what we're going to do is, alright, we're in the materials, so we're going to go data, back to meshes. We're going to go to tschutschi's folder, wardrobe 2, and what you're going to do is whatever outfit you use for your base outfit, you want to copy over. Some items, I have a couple of outfits where I'll save over another outfit that I'll never use. But you got to remember is you'll have to. So you got to go in game and check. You got to remember that you switch out a different outfit. So we started with the shadow outfit. So we're going to select that and click save. It's going to come up. Do you want to replace? Yes, we want to replace. Because now, when you build this outfit in game and you put it on, this is what you will have. We're going to go in game here in a second and test it out and make sure everything's saved properly. The first thing I want to let you know is if you plan on using this outfit or creating this outfit I made, is I'll just let you know some of the armors in this mod don't have the ability to put a legendary effect or ballistic weave on it. So I actually had to go in through CK and update the mod to add these items. Right now I don't want to go through, this video is already probably a lot longer than it needed to be. I don't want to go through that right now. If anything, just let me know in the comments if you want me to do a tutorial on how you make, add legendary items, lining, or make outfits ballistic weave compatible in CK. It's actually very simple. So we have our outfit created, so let's go ahead and launch the game. Okay, so after the long process of waiting for startup, let's go ahead and load this and see how it turned out. If you don't use modern weapons, I understand. It definitely does add a lot of weapons to the game, but I like it. Some of the animations could use some work, but otherwise, I like the ability to use tons and tons of different weapons and add grenade launchers or undersided shotguns. So, but as you can see, our outfit did save. So I'm going to try to go here into a little bit better light. Get directly in the sun. And as you can see, everything we added is in place. We got our armor. We have the stockings. As you can see, the stockings look like it's nice and tight up against the bodysuit. We have our holster. We have the jacket. Jacket looks nice on there. So there's actually a pretty good shadow effect behind her. So what I want to do is turn her around, inspect the back. So as you can see, all the different straps look like where they're supposed to be. Look like they're actually part of the outfit, wrapped around the boot. No other clipping. And the jacket looks good in the back as well. So, and there you have it. That's how I make my mashup mods, or mashup outfits. So, you could get as intricate or easy as you want to. It all depends on what your flavor is and what you really want to accomplish. So some of my outfits, actually, some of the outfits I created for Leanne are actually probably anywhere from like 7 to 10 added pieces onto it. This one was only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 added items to it. So, but, well, I hope you appreciate this tutorial, and I hope I was able to cover everything you need. And if you get stuck, just send me a comment or a PM, and I'll try to answer it the best of my abilities. So, and look forward to any of these other tutorials I come up with. And thank you for your time.